There is one city on earth that three of the world's great religions call their own. One city that has been conquered, destroyed, rebuilt, and fought over more than any other place on earth. Egyptians, Israelites, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Crusaders, Saladin. Every one of them believed this city was theirs by divine right. This is Jerusalem, and its story is the story of humanity itself. 3,000 years of conquest, 3,000 years of devotion, 3,000 years of blood and prayer on the same small hill. The story of Jerusalem as a sacred city begins around 1000 BC with a man named David. David captured the Jebusite city of Jerusalem and made it his capital. A brilliant political choice. It belonged to no tribe of Israel and thus could unite them all. David brought the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, transforming a political capital into the most sacred place in the Israelite world. His son Solomon built the first temple, the house of God on the hill north of David's city, a building of legendary beauty that defined Jerusalem's sacred identity forever. For 4 centuries, Jerusalem was the capital of the Israelite kingdom and the center of Israelite religious life. In 586 BC, disaster. The Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar besieged Jerusalem. The walls fell, the temple was burned, the population was taken into exile in Babylon. Jerusalem was left in ruins. But Jerusalem could not be destroyed. The exiled people carried it with them in their hearts and returned to rebuild it. In 322 BC, Alexander the Great's army swept through the region. Jerusalem passed into the Hellenistic world.
Then Herod the Great, king under Roman patronage, transformed Jerusalem into one of the most magnificent cities in the ancient world. Herod's Temple Mount was an engineering achievement of staggering ambition, a platform the size of 30 football fields, supported by massive retaining walls still standing today. The temple itself, rebuilt by Herod to extraordinary magnificence, was described by a Roman writer as the most beautiful building on earth. In 70 AD, everything ended. The Roman general Titus besieged Jerusalem. The temple burned. The city was demolished. 1 million Jews were killed or enslaved. Jerusalem ceased to exist as a Jewish city. The Arch of Titus in Rome still commemorates the looting of the temple treasures, the menorah carried through Rome in triumph, never to return. For 3 centuries, Jerusalem became a Roman city, renamed Aelia Capitolina. A temple to Jupiter was built over the ruins of the Jewish temple. Then Constantine the Great converted to Christianity, and Jerusalem was transformed again. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre, built over the tomb of Jesus, transformed Jerusalem into Christianity's most sacred destination. For 3 centuries, Byzantine Jerusalem was the greatest pilgrimage destination in the Christian world, its churches and monasteries filling every hill. In 638 AD, Jerusalem changed hands again, but this time the conqueror came in peace. The Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab entered Jerusalem on foot, refusing to ride while his companion walked. He asked to pray at the Temple Mount. When Umar was offered the chance to pray inside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, he refused, choosing to pray outside so Muslims would not claim the church as a mosque. And then, the Dome of the Rock, built by Caliph Abd al-Malik in 691 AD, the most beautiful building in Jerusalem's history. Inside, the bare rock from which Muslims believe Muhammad ascended to heaven, the same rock that Jewish tradition identifies as the site of Abraham's sacrifice, the same hill where Solomon built his temple.
In 1095 AD, Pope Urban II preached a sermon at Clermont that changed the world. "God wills it," the crowd responded, and 100,000 people began the long march toward Jerusalem. After 3 years of extraordinary hardship, sieges, starvation, disease, The Crusaders reached the walls of Jerusalem in June 1099. They stormed the walls on July 15, 1099, and what followed was a massacre that shocked even the medieval world. Muslim and Jewish residents were massacred indiscriminately. Contemporary Crusader accounts describe wading through blood to the horses' bridles. The Dome of the Rock was converted into a church. The Al-Aqsa Mosque became the palace of the Crusader kings. The Kingdom of Jerusalem had begun. For 88 years, Jerusalem was the capital of a Crusader kingdom, a strange medieval French state transplanted to the Middle East. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre was rebuilt in its current form by the Crusaders. The building that stands today is largely their work. The Knights Templar took their name from their headquarters, the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount, which they called the Temple of Solomon. The Crusader kingdom was always fragile, a thin strip of European settlement surrounded by a much larger Islamic world that had never accepted the conquest. In 1187 AD, a Kurdish general from Tikrit was about to end it all. Saladin had spent years unifying the fragmented Muslim world, Egypt, Syria, Mesopotamia, into a force capable of challenging the Crusaders. At the Battle of Hattin in July 1187, Saladin destroyed the Crusader army in a single afternoon. With the Crusader army destroyed, the cities of the kingdom fell one by one. By September 1187, Saladin stood before the walls of Jerusalem. The defender of Jerusalem, Balian of Ibelin, rode out to negotiate. Saladin could have massacred the population as the Crusaders had done in 1099.
He chose mercy. Every Christian in Jerusalem was ransomed and allowed to leave. Saladin personally paid the ransoms of those too poor to afford them. Saladin entered Jerusalem on October 2, 1187, the anniversary of the Prophet Muhammad's night journey. The cross was removed from the Dome of the Rock. The building was purified with rose water brought in from Damascus by camel train. Jerusalem was Islamic again. But Jerusalem's story did not end with Saladin. It never ends. The Western Wall, the last surviving remnant of Herod's Temple Mount, remains Judaism's most sacred site. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre, rebuilt by the Crusaders on the original Constantinian foundations, still receives millions of Christian pilgrims every year. The Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque sit above all of it, the third holiest site in Islam, visited by millions of Muslim pilgrims every year. On one small hill, the prayers of 3 billion people rise simultaneously. What is Jerusalem? It is a city. It is a dream. It is a wound that never fully heals. It is the place where human beings have most passionately insisted that the divine and the earthly can meet in one specific physical location. No other city on earth has been besieged 23 times, attacked 52 times, captured and recaptured 44 times, destroyed twice, and rebuilt every time. Jerusalem endures because the people who love it, all of them, love it with a completeness that transcends reason. If you want to understand humanity, understand Jerusalem, because this city contains everything we are. Our devotion, our violence, our beauty, our inability to share what we love most, our refusal, despite everything, to give up. If Jerusalem's story moved you, subscribe to The Ancient Lens. Every week, a new lost world brought back to life.